Welcome to the Bearcat Beat on LSPN, where each week we share conversations about everything that makes Sherman ISD athletics so great. I'm your host, Chris Daly. Sherman Bearcat Athletics represent the heart and soul of our community, where champions are made both on the field and in the classroom. Our student athletes embody the Bearcat spirit through dedication, perseverance, and excellence, creating memories and building character that will last a lifetime. Remember, it's better to be a Bearcat. This is just one of the many amazing things that the Booster Club accomplishes throughout the year for all sports. If you're interested in joining the Sherman Athletic Booster Club, or if you want to purchase some merchandise to show your Sherman Bearcat love, you can visit the website at shermanisd.net under the Athletics tab. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Bearcat Beat. I'm Chris Daly, and today we're talking again with Coach Mark Kerkhoff, Sherman Girls Basketball. Welcome, Coach.
Hey, thanks for having us back.
Of course, of course. So, I looked at the schedule, the standing so far, 4-5. Talk about some of those games.
I'm proud of the girls. We're competing. Couple games that kind of got away from us, but for the most part, we're competing. Lebanon Trail, we had to make a big 17-0 run in the second quarter to tie things up, and then kept that momentum and got that first win of the season. So that was huge. Just the way that they're having to hold together, keep playing together, and a couple of these losses have been close. But they've also been to some of these bigger 6A schools like Weatherford and Prosper. And we just keep telling them, like, hey, learn our lessons from what we did here and let that pay off down the road. So that way we're not repeating history, so to speak, over and over, and just take what we can and get better.
Yeah. Now in other sports, like in football, between week one and mid-season, you see things go away like pre-snap penalties and personal fouls, things like that. What do you see as an advancement for the girls as they go from this first week to mid-season?
Really, probably one of the biggest areas is how we handle the ball or push the pace in some of those late games. So if we're up by 8 points with a couple minutes left, then we need to bleed the clock off. And the girls are understanding that we don't, unless it's a wide open layup or something like that, that we don't have to put ourselves in a situation to let the team get back into it. And to hear them say that before I even say it, before a timeout or things like that is big. Just because there's going to be times that you can't coach every situation that comes up, and you need them to be able to think as a group on the floor. So they're understanding that. And we're starting to get into a little bit more of performance game by game, how we make adjustments. Like we had against Prosper, we didn't have any second chance points at all. And then the next game against Van Alstyne, we had, I think, 15 or 16 second chance points. So they made it a point that we were going to get after the boards on the offensive end and try to get some points back up on the board. So it may not be an overall trend, but you can definitely see that there's stuff that they're focusing on each game.
Excellent. And when we talked last time, you said one of the things you're going to focus on this season, more so than in the past, is picking up the pace. And how are the girls doing there?
There's been a couple games where there have been some athletes come through the handshake line from the opposing team, and they're definitely ready for a break. We'd still like to play maybe a little bit faster, but it's still a learning process. We only start one senior right now, so still a relatively young starting lineup. Yeah.
And but fitness-wise, it sounds like you're getting them where they need to be.
Absolutely, yeah. They haven't had really any complaints. They may be tired the next day, but who wouldn't be after trying to do that?
Yeah.
But we're able to go. The next game, we had our first tournament at the Dallas Mavs Fall Classic. and we tried to push as much as we can. And we played 4 games in 3 days. And a couple of girls were a little tired at the end, but for the most part, we were able to do what we wanted to do.
Excellent. And you pulled up the stat of second chance points. What are some of those stats that you as a coach look to as like these are the things we need to hit?
So the things that we're trying to look at, and it kind of depends by opponent, right? What they throw in front of us. So part of it is just knowing what we want to do, and maybe like we didn't get any of them away, and we're a fairly decent rebounding team, not the greatest by any means, but we're better than we were last year. So to know that we didn't have any second chance points, we knew that in a 6-point loss, like that could have made or break us. So it was just making sure that they didn't get any second chance points, and we got as many as we could. So we look at overall field goal attempts, not that we're just trying to throw it up as soon as half court, but if we don't have enough attempts, we probably didn't play fast enough. Turnovers, I mean, you're going to have them, but where are we having those turnovers? Are they leading straight away for points on the other end, or are they a dead ball turnover so that we have a chance to defend against it? So that's kind of things they're looking at as far as a team. We could get them lost in the numbers if we wanted to. So we're kind of giving too many chunks as far as like second chance points. How many offensive rebounds do we give up to the opposing team? Points per possession. Are we making good shot attempts every time we go down?
Got it. And do the girls know about those numbers? Do they know? Do you have like a goal board that, at the end of the game you say we hit 8 of 10 or?
We don't have a goal board per se. Again, it's one of those things where we've been really trying to talk about focusing on the process and letting the results happen. So we talk about the results. But then again, like we said, hey, we can't give up more than 10 offensive rebounds, so to say. Like, what process do we have to go through to get that result? And so they made it a target to find their best rebounders and make sure that we got after the ball before they did.
Yeah, and I can see where especially in basketball, because it's so boom, boom, boom. You don't want them focusing on that stat. You want them in the second, paying attention to what's happening.
Absolutely, yeah. And we're still a growing program.
Yeah.
So do we want to slow them down by thinking about, like you said, thinking about getting X, Y, and Z done, or do we want to say, hey, do your job, and we'll see what happens with the result?
Yeah, and I know, like I said, it's very, very early in the season still. Have you seen some surprises that you're like, wow, she's a lot better than I thought she was going to be at this point? Or maybe you saw it, but maybe the fans are like, wow, she's really stepped up.
Malia Chapman, the freshman, she's had some really good games. So she's kind of opened people's eyes of like she could play. She was known locally in the town in parts of Grayson County, but now that we've gotten out to play some of the metro schools, they're keying in on her a little bit more. Natalie Reed has been a way bigger rebounder than what I first anticipated, so that has helped as well. But I'm just, as a team, proud of the girls because they are. I don't remember the number of assists that we had the last game versus Centennial, but the ball movement we had, like there wasn't selfishness. It was trying to get the ball to the open girl to get to an open shot, and that's what had people talking. Like, you move that ball enough, and people are going to notice.
Yeah, yeah. So, talk to me about your pre-district. What you have left before you get into the district slug.
So we play Van Alstyne tomorrow. Yeah. And that's been last year was kind of a close game, so I expect potentially could be the same. And then we are going to travel actually with the boys to the Craig Bowers Invitational at Royce City. We face Royce City, North Garland, Tyler, and Richardson. And those last couple teams have a little bit of weight behind their names.
Yeah.
But good thing or bad thing, my girls don't necessarily know that, but the weight behind those, they didn't know a whole lot about Prosper, and they played them as tough as they could.
Yeah.
Same thing with Liberty, and I know that Liberty has lost a couple players, but my girls had no idea until after the game we told them that they had won 3 state championships recently. So it's kind of a blessing that they get to go in and compete.
Yeah.
And we've told them that out of the 5 games this week, like 4 of them have the potential to be an absolute dogfight.
Yeah.
So just to be ready for that and compete and fill our roles and do what we need to do.
I love that. And what would you say is your identity? And I know that it's different depending on who you're playing. Are you an inside team? Do you toss up threes like mad? What's the identity of the squad now?
We're not a chuck 'em early, chuck 'em deep kind of team. We've really tried to emphasize the girls that we're trying to get paint touches. Now, whether that leads to a layup or a kick out for a 3, that's something different. We're a very guard heavy team.
Mm-hmm.
Prosper started a 6'5" girl, a 6'1", and a 6-foot girl, and we didn't have anybody to match that height. So we're definitely not an inside team, but we do have some girls that are continuing their post improvement. We're always looking to try to get into that paint for a layup finish or something like that, just to make that defense worry about one more thing.
Yeah.
So, just by playing hard, playing together, like that's, if I could pick 2 factors for our identity, it would be those 2.
I love that. And finally, Coach, gosh, it sounds like things are going in the right direction. And you mentioned at the top that you're pleased with the girls. What's our A+ score on the season? How would we finish?
Well, if I could give you that, I would probably also give you a list of numbers that you and I wouldn't have to worry about doing podcasts ever again.
I love it.
But I don't really want to put that out there for either the girls or for us. I'm not trying to skirt around your question because, you never know how that season's going to unfold. We have a couple girls that are nicked up right now. Looking at some of the scouting reports from some of our opponents coming up, both district and out of district. Those teams are one injury or one illness away because of their player rotation that it's going to deeply affect how their season goes.
Right.
Do I think we have some tough games coming up? Absolutely. Do I think that we can play and compete with them? Yes, I do.
Cool. And at the end of the day, you've got some girls who can knock off some teams that possibly should be, on paper, a better team.
Well, and that's how we tried to schedule. You want to schedule games that are going to be a big challenge. You schedule games that you should be able to compete evenly with, and then a couple of them here and there that might not be as strong as competition, so you get a healthy mix. And so far, that's worked out to our favor. So out of the 5 losses that we have, I think 4 of them are to 6A schools.
Yeah.
So, 3 of, I think it's 4 out of 5 are to 6A schools. So, we're trying to challenge ourselves. And we know we have a tough district. So if we don't get ready, it's going to be a long district season.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, Coach, again, thanks for coming on and best of luck this season.
Hey, appreciate it. And anytime you want to chat, be happy to talk with you.
Sounds good. Thanks. I want to thank you for listening to the Bearcat Beat. Each week throughout the school year, you will hear all sorts of great information about all the athletic programs at Sherman ISD. Please do us a favor, like, share, comment, do whatever you can to help us reach more Bearcat fans.
Hey Coach, Lone Star Gridiron has been the leader in Coach's Show podcasts for 20 years. And now you can get your own Coaches Show podcast each week during the season as a fundraiser for your booster club. Yes, booster clubs all over are using these podcasts to help their sports programs. You get to share the stories of your program and your kids to a huge audience and make money. We started with just football, but this year have expanded to make them available for all sports. Call 713-269-4620 to find out the details and get your Coaches Show started.